This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good afternoon, friends. Because I'm not your rabbi, I'm just your friend, I'm going to give you some friendly advice. I came into the shul, I saw lockers outside. Very important to have lockers outside. I want to tell you something. You know, does anybody know what is the defense system of the Jewish people? Iron Dome. What's the defense? Elu Batei Knesiot. The shul. The shul is the defense of the Jewish people. They're the walls of the Jewish people. That means you can't let any infiltration. If there's infiltration, then we're not protected. Especially now, every Jew has to be Mekabel. They never bring a phone into Beit Knesset, no matter what. Unless you're an emergency medical personnel. Can't bring a phone into a shul. Only if you want the Jewish people to be protected. If you don't mind, then you can bring it in. But if you want Hagana, you can't bring a phone into the shul. I'm just telling you as a friend, Chaver Tov, Shachen Tov. What? The nets? We'll print out for you every day the nets. Still can't bring it in the shul. You mean the Zmanim? We print it out every day. They're going to print out. We're going to print out big and very big, bigger than the phone.
I'll get you a special one next week.
Okay. Oh, and they even have a locker. Wow. And also, you charge your phone in the meantime. You get to take electricity from the shul. Your electricity bill goes down. This way you don't have to charge it at home. You know how much money you'll save the whole year? By charging it in the... Okay. Very interesting question. Does a person have to listen... Does a person have to listen to a parent when it comes to Shidduchim? A boy meets a girl. He likes the girl. The parents don't like the girl. The father says, don't marry this girl. The boy says, I want to marry this girl. Is there a mitzvah, kibbud avim, to listen to your father, not to marry the girl? So let's discuss that very briefly. In Parshat Chayei Sarah, Abraham tells Eliezer, take a shvuah, take an oath, that you're not going to take a wife for Yitzchak from Canaan. So Eliezer swears. So the question is, why is Abraham making Eliezer take an oath? He should make Yitzchak take an oath that Yitzchak won't marry a woman from Canaan. Why is he making the slave take an oath? He's not marrying her. Yitzchak's marrying her. Make Yitzchak take an oath. He's not going to marry a woman from Canaan. Says Meshech Chachma, this is a proof to the opinion of Maharik. Maharik writes, if a father says, don't marry the girl, and the boy wants to marry the girl, there is no mitzvah to listen to the father. And that's how it's paskin in Shulchan Aruch. There is no kibbud avim when it comes to Shidduchim. So the question is, so then why in this week's Parsha, how could Yitzchak tell Yaakov, vayivarech oto, vayitzavehu, vayomer lo tikach isha mi benot Canaan? How could Yitzchak tell Yaakov not to marry a woman from Canaan? You can't tell a kid who to marry. So Meshech Chachma says Yitzchak wasn't commanding him not to marry her because he doesn't have to listen. Yitzchak was just saying, if you want my blessings, if you want the Berchat Yaakov, I will only give them to you on condition you marry a woman that I allow. So it wasn't a mitzvah kibbud av, it was the stipulation that the Berchat Avraham will only continue if you marry who I tell you to marry. But I believe there's another explanation here. Let's study for a moment the opinion of Maharik. Maharik says there's no mitzvah of kibbud av when it comes to Shidduchim. Why? Maharik gives three reasons. Number one, when you honor your father, whose money is it? Do you have to spend your own money, or could you use your father's credit card? Meaning, your father says, I want a steak. No problem, give me your credit card. Who has to pay to honor the father? The Gemara concludes, Mishal Av. The son has to honor the father, but he doesn't have to pay money. So says Maharik, if the son doesn't have to give up his own money to honor his father, he also doesn't have to give up the wife that he wants to marry. It's not worth less than his money. Yeah? That's one reason. Reason number two, says Maharik, there are many takanot of the Gemara to ensure a husband loves his wife. One of them is, you can't marry a woman unless you see her first, because we're afraid you might not like her. It's very important that the husband and wife get along. If the father is going to say, don't marry her, marry her, that's not going to be good for Shalom Bayit. He's not going to be able to appreciate the wife who somebody else forced upon him, even if it's his own father. Reason number 3, says the Maharik, one only has to honor the father if the father has personal hana'at haguf from it. You have to give the father food, drink, clothing. The father is not, this is your wife, not the father's wife. The father doesn't have any hana'at haguf from the lady. Therefore, in a way, it's not his realm. Comes the Netziv, and the Netziv says, but there's a specific instance where if a father says, don't marry the woman, you have to listen. And that is, we know, even though there's a mitzvah of kibud, there's also an aveira of not to be mevazeh the father. You can't disgrace the father. You can't cause a father tsa'ar or bizayon. That is the prohibition of arur makle aviv ve'imo. You can't demean a father and mother. And if the father says, it's not just, I don't think you should marry this woman. This woman is embarrassing to me. I'm ashamed of her. It's going to hurt me. I'm going to be lowered in the eyes of people. If the father says it's not a preference, it's a bizayon to our family, then you have to listen to your father.
So that takes care of not to marry one, but to get married to another one, that's not much better.
Correct.
Because you split this.
Right. So it comes out, it's very interesting. Before Yitzchak tells Yaakov, don't take a woman from Canaan, what does Rivka say? Katzti b'chayai mipnei benot chet. These women in Canaan, it's disgusting to me. Oh, it's disgusting. Then you can't marry them. Because even though there's no kibud not to marry a certain woman, but you have to be careful for bizayon. So therefore, once Rivka said, Katzti b'chayai, now Yitzchak could tell Yaakov, don't take a woman from Canaan. This, I believe, is the reason why Yitzchak could tell Yaakov, you can't marry these ladies. Why? Katzti b'chayai. Even though there's no kibud, but there is bizayon aror makle aviv ve'imo. Rav Chanani ben Akashim Ratzak Baruch Hu Zakir Yisrael Lefikach Chirbalam Tomet Tzut Shene'emar Adonai Chafetz Matziko Yagdil Torah V'Yadir.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.